All right, YouTube, this is Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit. Back with some more clips and some more reviews. I had an interesting evening after the videos I posted last night. And strange enough, a lot of Africans and other foreigners got in my comments. And the Africans was like, our people and we people and you should stick together with Kamala and all that. And I had to tell the African, you ain't my people. You from Africa. I'm a black American. I don't have any allegiance with Africans. I don't have any African friends. I don't hang out with Africans. I don't talk to Africans on a daily basis. What would make him think that me and him is the same? Then he went to talking about, well, slavery this and slavery that. And I was like, you don't remember that Africans and Arabs sold black people into slavery? Now you come over to this country and use the benefits that we fought for in civil rights and compete with us and then look down your nose at us and then tell us what you think we should do because you think you're better than us. See, that's the problem with this country. They go get these foreigners and they put them in positions and they call them people of color and they call them black and all these different things. But really what they're trying to do is undermine black Americans and the black community who have a heritage and entitlement to the land and this culture. So the Africans was in there all night trying to convince me that me and them are the same people. Surprise, y'all. I'm a black American. I have no allegiance or ties to Africa. I understand the history of Africa. If you want to know the history of Africa with black Americans, research Samuel K. Doe and the Liberian revolutions, and you will see what happens when black Americans try to unify with Africans. But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Kamala again because they want everybody to get behind Kamala. Why, I don't know. But we got a saying now. We're going to say, vote out blue no matter who. Vote out blue no matter who. They having their convention in Chicago. The Democrats are having a convention in Chicago. The nerve of them. The way they flooded Chicago with immigrants and put them over the black community. And the way the gun violence is out of control in Chicago. They actually are going to go to Chicago and try to lie in them people's face as if they're not living an American nightmare flooded with immigrants, poverty, and violence. What lies will they tell in Chicago? But I don't know. We're going to look at these videos and see what Kamala is really going to have to say when she goes to Chicago. This is for fair usage under the 1976 Copyright Act for Education, Commentary, and the First Amendment. Let's listen to Kamala out of her own mouth. Check this out.
Today, on August 15th, 2020, I stand before you as the first candidate for Vice President of the United States of South Asian descent. People of India and to Indian Americans all across the United States.
Wait a minute, Kamala. Black people been tripping and saying that you was black and black people should get behind you. Did she just say she was the first senator of South Asian? No, I don't know. I don't think I heard that right. Let's try again.
Today, on August 15th, 2020, I stand before you as the first candidate for Vice President of the United States of South Asian descent. People of India and to Indian Americans all across the United States, I want to wish you a happy Indian.
Wait a minute. So we already know if she gets to be the president, India is going to be celebrating, the Indian people going to be celebrating, and black people going to be looking slow again. They're going to be like, oh, not another Obama trick. We voted because he had a tan. No, y'all not going to do that. Did you just hear what this lady said? And y'all be getting in somebody comments talking about she a black woman and y'all don't want to have a black woman in there. She knows she's not a black woman. You ain't what she just said. Let's listen to some more.
Independence Day.
This woman was flaunting her relationship with Willie Brown, former mayor of San Francisco. You know, old Sweet Willie? Sweet Willie Brown. Sweet Willie. Sweet Willie Brown. And they were hanging out in the restaurants and out there on the wharf, you know, and Willie Brown is married. They were in public while she was a district attorney. Here she was, the adulterer, going with this man, you know, and all over the you get pick up the daily, the British newspapers there. I mean, they covered it. Many of the people in the Frisco area didn't cover it in America. They didn't bring it up against her either. But now this woman was flaunting her relationship with Sweet Willie Brown, and they were getting it on. So she did date a black man because Willie's about as black as you can get. That guy's black as about 2 months cold and the anthrax. But here. What is it with she marrying this Jewish guy, right? And I'm not against Jews. I don't hate Jews. I'm a Zionist, right? I'm not against Jews. Me, no, I believe in Abraham. Jesus, too. But what is it with her marrying this Jewish guy? Something's up. So I can't believe that's love at first sight or any other sight. Something's up.
Yeah, well, the Democratic Party for a very long time, not just this election cycle, has been doing a lot of active outreach around South Asians, around the API in general, and will continue to do it. I mean, what we know in particular when you're talking about the South Asian community, we're talking about the Indian community more specifically, it is a growing community in the United States in terms of its voting bloc, in terms of its...
What you're not going to see her do is mention the black community. Now all the sorority AK sisters and all of them, they act like they don't know this. So this is why I say we have to vote out blue no matter who. They all seem like they in cahoots. Like it's a conspiracy to put this Indian woman with her Jewish husband in charge of the country over policies that will affect black Americans. A Jewish guy and an Indian woman? Man, I don't know. Arabs better be careful. You Arabs better be careful. A Jewish man married to an Indian woman as president. You Arabs might have a problem if y'all not careful. But back to black problems. We're going to have to vote out all blue no matter who. Chicago, y'all know y'all definitely have to flip red. They did a number on Chicago. They trying to do it in Detroit, but we're not going for it. But it's interesting that the Boule and the Bourgeoisie, the gatekeepers, the overseers, they want to speak for black people. And they done aligned themselves with the foreigners. That's what had these Africans in my comment talking about we. And I was in my mind like, you just said you was African. Now you speaking French talking about we? Ain't no we. You is African. You just said you was African. Now you all in black American business. Say it ain't so.
Participation, and I think the party knows that and knows that this is part of our collective community, and there needs to be outreach and inclusion.
And certainly you could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Not good.
You could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Not good.
There will be a coup in the United States, an illegal transfer of power, an insurrection from within. And after that, Joe Biden will be out of the government and Kamala Harris will be in charge. So this prophecy is not new in that it is reflected in multiple prophecies.
I'm going to do my part to speak up for what I feel like is right, regardless if I get a bunch of hate, because I genuinely care about
I'm going to stop this one right here because I got something else I want to show you. Let's go to Boule Roland Martin. He's crying for Obama again. But see, Obama won't endorse her, but she can't win. Watch how Roland Martin lie. Roland Martin is finna lie. But he's paid to tell lies, allegedly. Allegedly, the Democrats have paid him and his group of Mary Shields to fooled people into thinking that black people is behind this Indian woman and behind the Democratic Party after the number they did on us with immigrants, inflation, trying to regender our children, and the list goes on of heinous, debaucherous policies coming from the left. Watch Roland Martin tell these lies about what's going on in the Democratic Party. Listen to him. Oh, this is for fair usage.
President Barack Obama, in his particular
Now watch him. Listen closely to him.
President Barack Obama, in his particular statement, he laid out all sorts of platitudes with regards to President Joe Biden, talking about his career, what he meant. Of course, he served 8 years as Obama's vice president, and on and on and on. Now, what was interesting is, as all of these endorsements were coming through, all these endorsements began to come through, people were going, okay, what about President Obama? Well, in his particular statement, after all of the praise for President Joe Biden, he then all of a sudden said this: we'll be navigating uncharted waters in the days ahead, but I have extraordinary confidence that the leaders of our party will be able to create a process from which an outstanding nominee emerges. I believe that Joe Biden's vision of a...
You hear that? When they go to Chicago, they're going to try to pick another candidate other than Kamala. They're going to have people run against him. And they would be wise to do it. But remember what I said. We're voting out blue no matter who. Chicago, you got to turn red what they did to Chicago. But Obama is telling them in so many words, Kamala can't win. You got to find y'all a better candidate to run. Because the myth that she has the black vote is not true. She has the AKs, the AKA, the sororities, and the fraternities. Y'all know them bougie Negroes that think they better than everybody, that get paddled and hazing and all that stuff they do when they go away to college. You know what I mean? That's unheard of, getting paddled and stomping and dancing, and then come out of that somehow thinking they better than somebody. And then they Greek. That's interesting in itself.
Generous, prosperous, united America that provides opportunity for everyone will be on full display in the Democratic Convention in August. And I expect that every single one of us are prepared to carry that message of hope and progress forward into November and beyond. Well, guess what? He looked like he's on the island because you've seen the endorsements being racked up. One of the folks who was talking about the need for an open convention was former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Many folks, and we've talked about it on this show, talked about how she was not necessarily supportive of Vice President Kamala Harris. Well, guess what? Nancy Pelosi had to come out with her own endorsement of Vice President Kamala Harris today. So there's been significant movement and changes over the past 24 hours, and it will continue. We're waiting to see the first polling. Oh, by the way, Donald Trump, absolutely scared to death. Now he's trying to weasel out of a debate in September that was supposed to...
You see how he lied? See, this is why we got to vote out blue, no matter who, because they will lie straight to your face. They will play in your face. He's talking about Donald Trump is scared to debate. The cackler. Who believes that Donald Trump is afraid to debate? The cackler. With all the ammo that he can use on her. They're going to say, oh, well, Donald Trump, he said that the New York Five should get the severe penalty. Kamala Harris actually gave people the most severe penalties. He had evidence that would have took a guy off death row, held black men in prison for cheap labor. That's slavery. To hold him in prison for cheap labor instead of releasing them, locking black women up because their kids miss school. She has did all the things that they accused Donald Trump of doing or saying he might do. And then with Crime Bill Joe, she already said she would be a prosecuting president. So Roland Martin, he lies. Man, the Democrats, y'all ain't even getting your money's worth with him. Black community ain't listening to him, period. You see what he just said? Donald Trump is scared to debate Kamala Harris. My 8-year-old granddaughter can debate Kamala Harris.
Air on ABC. He's now calling for it to air on Fox. And Black Star Network.
Okay. Let's move over here and see what's on Twitter. Because I think we might get a chance to end this with some Kamala energy. Let's see what Kamala has to say herself. This is a classic. I always like this one right here. This is one of my favorite Kamalas.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
I think she made that clear. Let's see if we got some more Kamalas. Oh, this is Kamala at her best. This is Kamala at her best. Listen to these pearls of wisdom from Madam Vice President.
Never let anyone take your joy from you. I call myself a joyful warrior. Right? Never let anyone take your joy from you. You do what you got to do. And isn't that a wonderful way to live? To know you have purpose. Never let anyone take your joy from you. I call myself a joyful warrior. Right? Never let anyone take your joy from you. You do what you got to do. And isn't that a wonderful way to live? To know you have purpose. Never let.
Sometimes I think this lady be drinking. I think she be drinking like Fannie Willis down there. I think she be drinking the Grey Goose. But again, this is our opportunity to vote out these Democrats who've been lying, destroying our communities, and smiling in our face and acting like they are friends. And we get to get the Boule and the Bourgeoisie, them uppity Negroes that want to be close to power and be the gatekeepers and overseers and speak in behalf of the common man. It's time to remove them. There's one thing about it. The Democrats that's paying them are not getting their money's worth. We are destroying them on the internet. We are swamping them with their own clips and their own words. This is not mainstream media. This is the people's media right here. This is constitutional work here. This is a democracy in real action, not the fake democracy that they're talking about, trying to make us think that this is not a constitutional republic. See, they lie about everything. So let us now say together, vote out blue, no matter who. You see, the governor in Chicago is a Democrat. The governor in Michigan is a Democrat. The mayor of Chicago is a Democrat. The mayor of Detroit is a Democrat. And we live in a war zone. Crime infested, no jobs, poverty, while they build up the downtown. And then they tell you, oh, Gretchen, she did something good for us. Gretchen didn't do nothing but lock us down during the pandemic and act like she was doing us a favor. So we're gonna vote out Blue no matter who. This is Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit. Support Detroit's Black Thought and Action Collective. And as always, salute to all patriots. Keep your head on a swivel. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.